Hello, everyone. For OneWrestling.com, this is Bill Apter. Welcome back to the Apter Chat face-to-face. A few weeks ago, we got so much response from the Apter Chat that we did with the daughter of Tully Blanchard, Tessa Blanchard, and her trainer, George South. And several weeks before that, we did an interview with the son of Scott Hall, a.k.a. Razor Ramon, Cody Hall. There you go. So, several weeks ago, I was down in Florida at NXT, and I saw my old buddy, Larry Zbyszko. He's not old, but he's my old buddy, Larry Zbyszko. And we were talking, and he said, you know what, I saw those interviews you did. I'm trying to do my Larry Zbyszko. I saw those interviews you did. You haven't interviewed my kid yet. So I said, you're right. Yeah, I haven't. So welcome to the Apter Chat, Larry Zbyszko, and your kid, Tim Zbyszko.
Well, thank you.
How you doing?
Thank you very much. Nice to see you as always.
He just got back from the Republic of Tonga. You can see by.
I could see that. I could see that. You're well. So many of the Samoan wrestlers are so successful today. Is this going to be his new character?
Yes, and I'm coming back as Alpha 2.
Yeah, I've met Af and trained at his school, and I've seen those Samoans in action. They're wild, man.
So you didn't know this. You didn't know that there were originally 3 Samoans. I was
Afa, Sika, and...
No, you did. You don't know about the third one. There was Afa, Sika, and I didn't have time to get in the ring. I was Apter.
Now there's about 5,000 Samoans.
That's right. And they're all so good. It's like the natural ability, natural talent.
Yeah, those are gorillas. They're natural gorillas.
So
yeah, they'll rip your head right off.
It's the diet. It's the Samoan diet. But the Usos, The Rock, Roman Reigns, Samoa Joe. I mean, there are so many. There are so many absolutely great. And, of course, her father. The Superfly, brother, and
Jimmy Snuka,
yeah. So now
I do a body splash similar to Jimmy Snuka. So
he's
never seen a top rope in his life.
Well, listen, right behind you. I noticed you have an armoire there. Could you get up to the top of that and demonstrate that?
I could possibly. You want to take an elbow drop?
No, you're not getting on.
I do an amazing elbow drop too, Bill.
All right. Well, I believe.
Let's not get him hurt yet.
I believe. So, Larry, he does an amazing elbow drop. An elbow drop was one of yours as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
yeah.
I never dropped an elbow.
Yes, you did. I took pictures of you dropping elbows.
Well, maybe one.
Once.
I was more of the wrestler's wrestler.
You were.
And player of human chess.
Yes.
I outsmarted my opponents and drove them crazy before it even started.
You were an abdominal stretch guy on both ends of the abdominal stretch.
Well, I could stretch it one way or the other. The abdominal was one of my favorites because it was easy for me to put that hold on, guys, because of my height.
Yeah, nobody uses it. Nobody uses it much anymore. Tim, do you use it when you're wrestling?
Oh, yeah.
You do?
Oh, yeah, I've used the abdominal stretch. It's a good move to wear down a core and drain energy from someone. It's a good hold.
Yeah, but, nowadays you see guys put on the abdominal stretch and somebody just flips them over.
Well, they don't know how to hook it on right.
That's what you see. A lot of the holds from back then that were submission holds, even like the figure 4 leg lock, guys are getting out of these days.
Yeah, well, the guys aren't learning how to put them on right is why they're getting out of them easy. They're getting it, but they don't know how to lock it right.
They're not wearing down the body parts too much either. You got to go after the knee, and then you put the figure 4.
So, is this what you've learned? Your dad, Larry Zbyszko, has been training you for how long? The past 2 years?
2 years. No, 3 years. I trained for 7 months before I had my first match.
When was your first match?
April 2012.
Okay. Did you win?
I won too.
You did. How did you win? What was the?
Yeah, it was a 350-pound guy named Gorilla Hanley.
Okay.
And I simply just moved out of the way and then kicked him in the face when he ran.
That was it.
It goes back all the way to 1974. Funny story, I'll tell you. 1973 I started. 1974 you were there, and I was voted the Rookie of the Year.
Yes, I do remember that.
And 2014. So how many years is that? Glorious years went by?
40.
40 glorious years go by. And Tim comes running over to the house one day, and he's got this PWI magazine. He goes, "Hey, look at this."
I remember that magazine, by the way. I used to work for them, yeah.
And he turns over a page, and there's a picture of Daniel Bryan. He turns over another page, and there's Triple H. And he turns over another page, and there's John Cena. And he turns over another page, and there's a picture of Tim. And he turns over another page, and there's a picture of Stephanie.
I look good, too.
And I'm saying, what are you doing with all the top superstars of the world in this magazine?
This is the year-end issue, I believe.
Yes, the end of the year awards.
Yeah, and I said, he goes, "Well, I'm the Rookie of the Year."
Yes.
I said, "How the hell did you do that?"
By being good.
And he did it, I guess.
So let's talk about your career, Tim. Your dad's been trained. Yes.
Let's talk about him all day.
Are you a Toby Keith fan?
What's that? Sorry?
Are you a Toby Keith fan?
I like some music.
No. The reason being, he had that great song, "I Want to Talk About Me." So we figured it's your turn right now.
Me, myself, and I. Yeah.
Yes. All three of you. So tell us about where you've been competing these past few years.
Oh, I've been competing mostly in Orlando, Jacksonville, Miami, Tampa, other parts of Florida, and then up in South Georgia, like St. Mary's, up near Atlanta as well. So a good bit of ways. We've actually tagged together a couple times. We're competed as a tag team.
Is that right? How many times? How recently did you do that? This is being taped in early July 2014.
Oh wow! I don't know. Maybe last
I've been 7-8 months ago.
Man. Really? Okay.
3-0, I think. 3 or 4-0. As a tag team.
So who does? Do you have like precision teamwork, or do one of you?
We're good. He does the wrestling. I come off the ropes with the speed and things like that.
I choke him out. And he falls on him. Basically.
Yeah.
Is that what it is? Now you mentioned earlier that you go up to the top rope and jump, and I think I might have seen your father do that 0 times in all the matches I shot.
The only time I went over the top rope was when I was trying to run for my life when the mob was trying to riot in the garden.
After Bruno.
After Bruno.
The garden with a chair.
Yes. Well, I remember, and we talked about that when I saw your dad down at NXT. We talked about the Bruno days and how much the fans just wanted to see your father's life ended.
It was such a great program.
Well, you were 0 years old, so how did you see it?
I was -2, -3. So
yeah.
So
I'm a byproduct of that entire era and that feud, I guess you could say. I'm the end result.
So have you seen some of this stuff on the WWE Network back in?
Of course, yeah. I've seen the Showdown at Shea. I think Mick Foley and Michael Cole did commentary for it. I've seen that. And then I've watched a lot of his matches as well from the past. I've seen the moment when he turned on Bruno with the chair and Vince Jr. was interviewing him after the match and he's explained his actions and it was I mean they were throwing stuff at the ring and it was I mean you don't get that kind of intensity out of fans anymore. You do sometimes, but it's more of an ooh and an ah. The emotional investment was night and day.
Oh, it was absolutely incredible. I mean, I feared for his life and me being on the ring shooting pictures with 20,000 fans at Madison Square Garden. If they rioted, they'd have to get through me and the other photographers to get to him, and I wouldn't have blocked anybody. I just won't go under the ring. Yeah.
There used to be old people trampled under chairs.
Oh, yes,
It was ridiculous.
Yeah. And Larry, I see that you are down at the Performance Center, the WWE Performance Center, and also at Full Sail University, and you're on the network quite a bit as well as one of the talking heads.
Well, yeah, I'm back with the WWE, and I've been doing some network shows that are coming up, and I've been going down to NXT. I'm addicted. I mean, I'm emotionally involved now. I mean, I love the business, and I got a lot of great talent that's going to be coming out. Wrestling's future is right down the road for me.
Yeah.
So it kind of worked out like it.
Now, wait a minute. You said wrestling's future is right down the road. Summer wrestling's future is right on your right-hand shoulder there. Tell us what it's like, the positives and negatives of training your own son.
Well, the positives, Bill, it gives you that good feeling because, he has the same dream and, gosh, if this dream works out, it'll be great. But the negative is you also realize at my stage of the game what a brutal business it really is.
Yeah, yeah.
And you know, getting a break is one thing, but I don't want to see him break his neck and wind up in a wheelchair either. So yeah, I'm leaving this up to destiny.
Me either. I don't want to see that either.
So
No.
it's a brutal business. It's
It
a
is.
tough business. You know, I mean, and so it's emotionally hard for me to say, sure, go ahead, because I know the reality of how brutal, you know, professional wrestling is.
Yes. Now, Tim.
They didn't have TLC matches in his day either. So.
No, they didn't. But I would have loved to have seen him in one of those. Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Right.
Larry, do you just first of all, I want to ask Tim. Tell us what it's like being trained by your father. I asked him what it was like to train you. So.
It's cool because most kids' dads don't know a thing about it, and he knows everything.
Yeah.
So it's cool. I could pick his brain any day of the week. And then just the moves and the styles and the tricks and the secrets you can get imparted, and the little twerks and little adjustments to who you are as a wrestler and a performer. You don't get that. Nobody else can get that from most other people.
Okay.
So it's cool for me, and it's a double-edged sword because people expect you to be good. You can't just be okay. They think you should be great.
Larry, what's the best part of what you've seen in your son regarding pro wrestling, sports entertainment, and what's the negative, the worst part?
Well, the best thing I've seen in him, because he's got the physical ability, and he's real good with catching on to the holds. The holds and all that, just something that takes time. But the best part of his ability is his charisma. He's got my charisma. He can go out in front of a crowd.
Wait a minute. Does he go out like I just lost my earphone? Hang on a minute.
Oh, sorry.
But does he go? I can hear. But does he go out and yell at the audience for 5 minutes before he hooks up with the guy like you did?
Well, not like I did, but the thing is, he could if he wanted to.
I have.
You have.
Got that ability. He's got the gift of gab. He's got the personality. He's not shy. So he's got the charismatic part. Now, if we just, get the wrestling part to back it up, he's got as good a chance as anybody else. So we'll see what destiny has in store.
Yeah, I know he can't get me a job. You have to get yourself a job.
Oh, yeah.
Somebody's got to think you have the talent. So.
Yeah, I'm probably more of a hindrance than a help.
No, I don't. No, it helps.
What Tim? What does it mean to you having to carry the professionalism of the weight of the name Zbyszko into
nothing.
the ring?
It's normal. I grew up. People would ask me about my dad. I grew up. Kids would always ask me at school, who's going to win these matches, and I was like, I don't know. It's my mom never let me watch wrestling, but I would set my TV to a certain volume where I could watch it without her hearing it. So
I knew about that.
I've always kind of known I'd be there, and I've done other things. I've acted in commercials, and I've traveled the country, lived in a million cities, and tasted a million different wines, and kissed a million different girls. I mean, I've lived my life. So coming to wrestling and being my father's son is easy for me because I understand what it means to not just to be an all-around person, almost a Renaissance man, where you have a lot of different abilities. But
he's a free soul.
Yeah, the name doesn't. It's cool to me. I like it. But I like being an evolved version. I do things he would never do in his day because it was a completely different style then.
Like what? Like what?
Just Hurricane Ranas, Enziguris, top rope missile drop kicks and elbow drops and. But then I use holds that, he's got holds that I still don't even know how to spell yet, and things I'm still trying to learn. So, it's the evolution of it is not so much based in power and wrestling as it was in his day, but also speed and athleticism and quickness as it is today. But of course, quickness always in wrestling.
One of the things that I know is that you have, and I don't know if you've trained with him, but have you trained with Scott Hall's son? Yeah.
Oh yeah. We've wrestled a couple times. I had him in a chokehold, and I was able to wrap my legs around one of his gigantic tree trunks he calls legs.
Yes.
And I held him down for a few seconds, but that was a good time then. But I've trained with him a couple times. I've seen him work some matches. He's a nice kid.
Yeah. So now if, let's say, everything was right and WWE looked at you and brought you into the Performance Center and they said, tomorrow we're going to let you pick any opponent you'd like to pick to wrestle, who would that be?
Just one?
Well, just one.
Just one.
To make your point. Roman Reigns.
Roman Reigns.
Roman Reigns.
Okay, so here's what I'd like to do, just to see if you can, what you've learned in terms of old school. Roman Reigns is watching you right now. Okay, and I'm the broadcaster. Tonight, it's going to be you, Tim Zbyszko, against Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns says he's going to spear you and destroy you. He's looking out at the camera right now. Tell us, talk to him.
You know, Roman Reigns, I'll tell you real quick. That spear move of yours is a combination of your ferocity and your energy and your intensity. But all I have to do is step to my right and let you go careening into the pole. And when you come flying back and your face is all blurred and you don't know what just happened, I'll be right there. And I'll schoolie boy you for a 1, 2, 3. And I'll just leave you in the ring angry, and you can hoot and howl and do any kind of dance you want. It won't matter then. Because all you have to do is when you take somebody full of fire, as soon as they send that fire your way, you just step out of the way and they will certainly explode.
Okay. All right. Larry, where do you see this guy in 5 years?
Who, Roman Reigns?
No.
Oh.
Your son.
With more hair than him.
Well, let's not, that's a sensitive issue. Comb over here. No, not sensitive at all.
I would like to see Tim, hopefully in 5 years, in a nice big house with a couple of cars, retired, with some money in the bank, for being a great wrestler so he can support me.
Yes.
I'm done.
Yes. No, you're far from done. You're far from done. Very far from done.
Yeah.
We have enjoyed your athleticism, Larry, for many years. Your interviews, your work as a broadcaster, which not like his tan, but a lot of people don't talk about your days at WCW as a broadcaster. And I did. I partnered with you several times at several indie promotions, and you've got a way with words.
You know, it was kind of interesting. I never planned to be a broadcaster. It just kind of worked out that way. And it came naturally to me. But when I did the broadcasting, I sat myself down and I watched the boys, and I watched it like a fan. I didn't watch it like me, and I watched it like a fan and had fun with it. And, broadcasting is weird. It's kind of a gift. Some guys can do it, and some other guys, just can't. I was lucky with that.
You were really good. I want to show your son. Little old school treatment here. We're going to do what we did with him. So Larry, tonight, after all these years, you and Bruno Sammartino are getting into the ring one last time. And of course he's still bitter about everything that happened. So if you could look into the camera right now and tell Bruno, who's watching this right now, why you're going to win this one.
Sorry, Bruno. I'm going to win this one because I have no artificial knees. I have no artificial hips. I have no artificial parts. I have no artificial heart valves. I've been real lucky. I'm sorry, but I'm just going to have to beat you.
Okay, well.
And be the living legend once again.
All right.
You'll have to hit him with a chair and take the title from him.
By the way,
that's how this will go on generationally.
By the way, Tim, will you eventually inherit his self-use of the living legend title there?
Well, I a couple of promotions have started calling me legendary because of my legendary and notorious acts in my past. So they can call me whatever they want.
The independent living legend. There it is. While you're working in the industry.
Yeah, hopefully not forever.
Thank you both for your time, for visiting us here at Apter's Alley. You're down in Florida, right?
Yep, Orlando.
Sunny Florida.
So Larry, what's your typical day made up of these days?
Well, I got three major things I do. One, I golf. If it's too hot or rainy, then I'll go to the gym and work out.
Okay.
If I don't feel like working out or golfing and it's sunny, then I float in the pool and maintain the tan.
Wow.
And then I text my girlfriend all day.
That's the worst thing I've ever seen in my life is him floating at the pool. There's nothing to prepare you if you're walking outside on a beautiful day and seeing your father in a pair of underwear and having to turn around immediately and forget all your plans to go sit outside because you just...
Well, I need a good short tan line.
Well, you know what?
It's shifts. You gotta take shifts.
My son would probably say the same thing you just said if it was
brutal.
there. Thank you both for being here, and if you wouldn't mind putting your finger right into the camera there.
I'm not covering my face.
There you go. We'll see you at the matches. Thank you, everybody.
See you.
Oh, wait a minute. We'll see you at the matches. Tim, I forgot to ask you.
Roman Reigns.
I forgot to ask you, where can fans hook up with you on social media?
Okay, cool. I have just a page that I use on Facebook and Twitter just to promote matches where I'll be. It's
What's your Twitter handle?
It's at Timothy Zbyszko, ZBYSZKO. And then Facebook is just facebook.com/Timothy Zbyszko, same spelling. And it's just there to promote the shows I'm doing and show videos and pictures from things I've been to, like WrestleMania with my father. So
is your dad on?
My dad's also, he's at Living Legend, LZ, I believe.
I don't know. I don't do anything on the computer, so
he's got someone that does it for him.
Got it. We won't say who that is. All right, let's do this part again. We'll see you.
See you
at the matches. Yes.